Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. We're starting the episode off over here at Tower Base so we can check on our beautiful snow walls and pick up some resources from this area. And before I hit record today, I realised that I've done it at the end. I've been an absolute colossal derp and I've done it again by landing in the middle here. I'm going to stand still, is that okay? I mean, I can move around like this. Do you want to know what my derp is? There's a hint on my hotbar. There's a whole bunch of items kind of lying around on the ground. I forgot to put in a hopper minecart. What a derp. And do you know what else is annoying? I can't jump. It's a feature of these. Oh, I should have thought of that for the Undying game. Maybe made that a part of the puzzle. That would have been cool, right? Take advantage of that mechanic. So yes, I forgot to put in a hopper minecart. Go on, go off, do your thing. I think it's all been set up correctly. It looks like it's going to work. So that will now collect some sweet berries because over here, you'll see that we have absolutely zero. Those ones I put there myself, I tell you. Anyway, we're here to pick up some resources because we are building the idea building. The warehouse, whatever you want to call it today. It is going to be glorious, my friends. Got such an amazing build in store for you this episode. But down here is where we have our bamboo farm, or at least access to it. Looks like I've got none stashed away. Actually, I've got a fair bit over here by the looks of it. Anyway, I am here to fill up a shulker box because I'm going to need some scaffolding in the area. Probably lots of it because it's going to be a big build. So let's go ahead and harvest some bamboo. Well, that was satisfying. I love chopping the bamboo and watching it all fall down. And you know what? I'm really glad we built a manual farm over here. Feels nice to kind of strap on your boots, so to speak, and do some manual work as opposed to having an automatic farm take care of it. Anyway, we're going to head over to the 1.14 area, but I thought while we're near the shopping area, let's check in on Sahara now and see if there are any more deals. Wow, absolutely everything has been brought out. But something just crossed my mind. If we're going into competition with Sahara and Concorp, should I still be using their shops? I don't know. I don't know, because the Sahara Now deals have been pretty fantastic. Anyway, we're going to head out of this area. Let's get over to where we're building the idea store. So let's get our bearings straight. In front of us is Hermitland. To the right of it, we've got the 1.14 village with the incredible build battle. And then over on the other side of all of this area is where Falsewell and Area 77 is. You can see False's town right here, and just beyond it the walls of Area 77. We're going to be between the edge of Falsewell and the edge of the 1.14 village. This area that I've cleared out right here is where our idea store is, and you can see the kind of span of the size of it based on where I put these little dirt pillars going around the area that has been cleared. I've been on a creative server looking at images of IKEA stores and rebuilding them into Minecraft, and the result is going to be a massive warehouse with a gargantuan amount of wool. We're going to build this thing out of yellow and blue wool, and as you know, I got a wool farm, and that's not going to be a problem for us. So when it came to the build palette for this thing, there were obviously two colors, but also two different textures. Sorry, three different textures that we could use to build this out of. And just like that, we have been visited yet again. And then they just disappeared. I have absolutely no idea where they went or where I got this leather or lead from. Jeez, I don't know what's going on around here. But anyway, we ummed and ahed over which materials to use. And on a large scale, flat materials like this, they do tend to lose a little bit of charm. You need some texture in there. So the wool kind of delivers that, but it doesn't variate a lot. And when we mixed it with these ones as well, it just looks a little too patchy because the contrast here is slightly different to that of the wool. So we're literally going to build this thing out of wool. As you can see, I've gathered up tons of blue and yellow over here. And then we have a whole bunch of different colors because that's all the blue and yellow that I have. Now here's where things might get really expensive because we're going to have to use some lapis to turn it to blue wool. However, we have all of this from TFC, and that's going to provide us with stacks upon stacks of blue dye, so that's absolutely fantastic. The other solution is, of course, to use the sunflower over here. We can use our extensive bone meal supply to get sunflowers and then convert that into yellow dye. So we're going to have no problems building this thing out of blue and yellow wool, and I tell you, it is going to be massive. Well, my friends, there will be plenty more of that to come. I'm talking about the music, of course, although there'll be plenty of building as well. We've got a long ways to go here, and I've gotten through over 2 stacks of this lapis lazuli over here, and I've got a feeling that we're going to need a lot more, and it would appear that I have been visited. There you go, now they're moving for me. Quick, run away! Anyway, I'm thinking that we're going to burn through our lapis stash that we've got over here, somewhere around here. So maybe it'd be a smart idea to also try and get some sheep in the area. It's time for me to leave, isn't it? Anyway, I actually wanted to go off exploring into the distance. Maybe we can wrangle up some sheep that are nearby, start to breed them up, get some blue wool that way. Hey! You're not a sheep, you're trying to disguise yourself. Wait a minute, Deputy Llama number 2? I don't know what that's about. Right, I've been looking for a while, and these are the only 2 that I've seen, so now I'm going to walk them back and hope that another patrol doesn't get in our way. Hey, look at this! You know, I hit record for the wheat field. I figured I could use this to get some wheat to breed our sheep, but now we get to see IKEA from the tree line over here, and it's really nice how the trees kind of break up the flatness of the building. I am excited for this. By the way, I've been avoiding these sweet berry bushes because not only can they hurt us the player, they will hurt entities as well, so we've got to look out for these sheepies. And you know what, with a lack of animals around these spruce trees, I do wonder if over time they'll just naturally wander into them, and that's why you have less animals in the taiga biome. Maybe that's something that needs investigating right there. Well, we got visitors again. Here I am building up the yellow facade over on this side of the building, which we'll step back and look at in just a moment. And I swear, these lot came from the trees over there, again, just like the last bunch. Now, of course, we flew away and they disappeared. That is actually a thing you can do in this game. So, if you didn't know, grab your rockets, fly high up into the sky. You need to be about 128 blocks away from them, and then they will actually despawn. And let's just plummet down here into the water. Yeah, look at that. They're all gone. And you can start to see the facade that I have created here. There is a nice little bit of depth for these windows where we have quartz pillars behind. I really love how that looks. And this is going to be our employee side of the whole building. And this is where we're going to just put our own personal, I don't know, redstone contraptions, storage, stuff like that. I've started to kind of outline particular parts of the wall around here so we can lay down a foundation for the entire building. But the key thing we're going to do today is get down the bare minimum for B-Dubs and Corrales to be able to come inside of this place and start to actually build the showroom. So we really need to focus on this blue bit right here where the main bulk of the building is. However, we are going to build some of the facades on the opposite corners. Now, one of the things I've got to do is put the roof on this thing, and the entire roof was going to be made out of these blocks, but then I kind of realized you can split them into half slabs like that through the crafting grid. So we're going to fill in a giant box of slabs up the top here, and that is going to convert the area down below into darkness. So I would be wise to torch it up and stop things from spawning on there. And looking over at my sheep, I've just kind of realized something. I've hardly done anything with these sheep. I don't think I've even sheared them yet. Look, I made some shears, and then I've completely neglected them. Right, it's time to breed up your numbers because we need a lot of wool. So that's right, we have yet another extension over on that side. That's not actually the last extension, there is one more to go in front of it, which is why it doesn't go all the way down to the bottom of the ground. But inside here will be more warehouse space, and then what we've got to do is extend the walls at the back here downwards. But if we just go and perch ourselves on a tree over here somewhere, you'll see that that means, well, that was a bad landing. Okay, here we go. So you'll see that we're going to have some big and bold plain coloured walls coming down, and I don't want to invest too much time into decorating the back side of it. So what we'll end up doing is actually terraforming the terrain around here and making it more hilly, so that it actually disguises the backside a little bit, and then we can focus all of our efforts on decorating the front, the entrance, where the hermits will be entering the idea shop. But anyway, this is what we'll be aiming for. That right there. It looks super janky, but once I put more of the walls in over here, then it'll start to make a little bit more sense, because as you can see on this side there are actually some rigid lines, and if you imagine the yellow walls of this coming down and the blue walls of that, then you'll probably see what we're going for. We're actually going to like push this terrain out a fair bit and make it look as natural as we can. So once all the grass is spread everywhere, then we'll be putting in the spruce trees, the ferns and the berry bushes, and just make it look like normal taiga biome. So I've been lining up this area below to make sure that things don't spawn around here, and I've just been filling in the walls as well, so you can really get a sense of what this is going to look like. Of course, we're not going to do all the terraforming in one day. I'm just trying to get the basics down here so you can experience it. And over on this side you'll see that a new material has been introduced, and we're going to see a lot more of it in the next part of the builds that we're about to do. That is this light grey concrete, and that is just a structural texture that we're going to use around the front a fair bit. But anyway, I'm sick of pillagers attacking me. They keep coming from over there, and I need to reinforce that wall because they have been a pain in the butt. But I want to take a break from this area just because I've been hunkered down in this zone for so long, and it's always good to get, you know, to other parts of the server. That part in particular being the Sahara building, because there has been an expansion undertaken by Iskall over the back here. This right here is some sort of machine to rapid dispense dyes, and as the amount of things to sell on the server does dwindle down, it seems that we have had the same idea to sell dyes, as there isn't a dye shop anywhere else as far as I'm aware. It's one of the ideas we had for idea. You know, there's always going to be that pun, right? Returning again and again and again. And I was thinking about how I supply Iskall with black dye. And we don't want to supply our competitors, but it looks like we've been given away out of our contract, because I've been supplying Iskall for a long time. Every day I'd come over here and drop down some stacks of wither roses, and Iskall's been taking these, and also for the bills, but he hasn't been paying me for them. And then after a certain amount of time, seemed to just stop. So I'm coming over here to reclaim my wither roses and maybe leave a note about my payment, because clearly Iskall's been taking them and I haven't received any diamonds for this, and I won't be supplying him anymore because, you know, Sahara is now our competition. So it seems like all the bills for the wither roses taken were just dumped into this one chest. So I'll add this all up in a second. We're owed a lot of diamonds, but over here, breach of contract, bill left unpaid. That should be plural, but I think you get the point. All of these bills here have not been paid for, and you know what? Iskall put them all to one side, so he probably did actually intend on paying me, but this is a breach of contract if you ask me. So I tallied it up. I was owed 57 diamonds, but I think I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't think Iskall will want to pay diamonds to a competitor, right? That would make no sense whatsoever. So while in the area, I thought we'd go and tally up some diamonds, and, you know, I'm just wondering, who brought all of these? Was it Iskall maybe looking for bone meal, which of course makes white dye? 26 diamonds? That's the first thing I've looked at. We're off to a good start. Probably haven't sold much of anything else though. So that was about it, 26 diamonds. But anyway, we're back over here now. It was a brief break, but I've recharged my batteries, come over here and placed down a whole bunch of blocks. You can see it's stone and andesite, and I've cheaped out and made it all out of slabs, which is actually a really great way to save resources. And then maybe later on we'll come in here and make this look a little bit more detailed, but for now it's a good start. You see over there is a skeleton. Would be wise to slab some of those top areas, or maybe just light them up with torches. But anyway, yeah, got to watch out for that because this is one big dark room, and what we're actually going to work on next is the roof, and that's going to have some blocks just here. And when I say roof, what I mean is roof of the entrance. You can see that I've left some grass blocks around here, and those are for some pillars. So the first type of pillar is this material again, coming all the way up to the top here, and then we'll have our roof going towards the inside. So what you see right here is going to be like a big open entrance. So there'll be a lot of wall over here, and then we've got like an overhang, which is going to have a real nice atmosphere. We also need to put lights, because once again we're going to create some darkness here. So that's another thing that needs to go in, and that's where all of these pillars go. And then in front of them you can see that there is room for something else. I need some stone bricks there. As outside we're going to have like a little sheltered area that goes across. Don't know what to call it. I'm sure it has a name, and I'm sure some of you are going to tell me what that name is in the comments below. So looking very slick here on the inside. It does add some depth. Also over here on the yellow bit as well. And there's more to come back there. Right now we're going to focus on this thingy that I'm sure many of you are going to tell me has a name. It's simply just a shelter for walking across, and this is how we put it together. We've got these pillars, they're spaced out every so often, and then we have some slabs like so. Easy peasy. Except I was supposed to pick up the contents of this box before I headed up any higher, because we're going to need string to hold up carpets over here. Let's get back on top of this thing. So this is an absolute pain in the bum to do. It's pretty slow going, but you can see we just place these blocks very cautiously because we're using this string just to suspend the carpet up in air, so that from down below you just see the bottom of the, well, I guess you see a little bit of the string as well, right? But you see the carpet, and it looks really cool. And that's going to extend all the way over here to the wall, and then it's going to go all the way over there around the corner to the other wall that sticks out. The objective of our building today is to get to a point where Keralis and B-Dubs can move in and start doing the interiors. And we're really close to that actually, because we've marked out all the space that they have to build in by putting up these walls. And now we just got to do the entrance next, which requires a whole bunch of black wool and a whole bunch of black glass as well. And this is really going to look nice, because as you look in from the outside it kind of gets darker here. And you can see we're building the walls out of the wall block, the black wall, but it's also going to go around like this, and then we're going to put the glass in right there, and so it creates this nice darkly entrance leading into the area behind, which I have actually designed some stuff for, and I might put a little bit of it in, but I'm going to leave it up to B-Dubs and Keralis to design it all. I'm going to have to take that back. I got to show you at least a little bit of this, because it's really about what you see on the inside that makes the dark work. And that is some light blocks, which is why I've got some white concrete here. So you kind of look through the dark and then you see a lot of white, which is white, which is really what works and makes it pop. And do you know what else is going to make this entrance pop? Is having some iron bars just on the back here. When I was designing this, I was trying to find a way to make it look like a proper door. And you can really overdo it. If you just put something simple like some iron bars in, it kind of gets you that feeling like they would close up together, even though they're not the full dimensions of a block. A door. A door. The full dimensions of a door. It is getting late here. Please forgive me. You can start to hear my words getting all kerfuffled, right? It's late today, and usually I don't stay up this late playing Minecraft and making videos, but I'm going on holiday soon, so I'm kind of in pre-recording mode, and while I'm away, I've got a couple of videos prepared for you, so things should actually just seem as normal while I'm away. So I want to focus on showing you how this popped, and I don't know if putting the white concrete up here is necessary, but it was part of the build I designed and I never really got to finish that. Anyway, what we should probably do is take a step back, and yeah, it really does have a nice pop to it when you see the darkness there, but we need to get a white concrete wall in now, and so you don't see all of these sheep and this land and this torches, you're just going to see like a plain white facade. Of course, the sheep are in the way of where I want this to go, but I guess now we can give them a bigger pen. They've been needing it. Look at this. Their numbers are steadily growing. We got a crazy amount of them. And not only do I need to lure them over to this area, it's time for another round of breeding. We're actually starting to get a fair bit of wool from this operation. It was a good idea. It helps supplement what's going on up there. But yeah, supplement. We only get a little bit of extra wool from this. You know, I hardly ever do this, but it is such a time saver with building. Normally I'm one to go and put all these through a concrete maker, but you know what, dropping water down the side of the build, not so bad when you need some time, right? And anyway, this is going to give us that wall that I was talking about. Just over here you'll notice that some of the blocks are already concrete, and that's where we've got a little bit of an entrance. You see, this could be the entrance to one of the showrooms that goes inside of here. And now, finally, maybe you can get a sense for it. I just don't have the time to put the floor in. There would also be a roof as well, right? But yeah, I think the white background just kind of shows you how this all pops. Oh, it's going to look so good, but it's still got such a long way to go. So I've prepped up this area just about the best that I can now. We've got a floor on the inside, however this is where other blocks are going to go one up, so we have proper pathways into here. And yeah, the kind of space for building the showcasing has been determined by the big cage around it. So B-Dubs and Corrales should know what they're doing from this point onwards. We have got to check this out from up in the sky one last time this episode, because that is it. If you have enjoyed it, then please do leave a like. As always, thank you so much for your support on these videos. The next episode we're going to go over to Tower Bay, and when we're back here in the future we'll be doing more of the IKEA building. There's still more of it to come, but we have done an absolute massive chunk of it this episode, and it was really enjoyable. So I hope you enjoyed it as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.